Here's a brief but annoying message to let you know that you could have first heard this episode 9 months ago if you were a subscriber to our Iron Filing Society Patreon offering.
For the price of a pint and a St. Clement's each month, you can get up to 4 episodes a week, 9 months before the rest of the world gets them. Early access to regular episodes, lots of other marvellous benefits, and there's absolutely no adverts or brief but annoying messages like this that'll get right on your tits.
Find out more and subscribe now at tftimemachine.com/ironfilings.
Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go, this is it!
This is Top Flight Time Machine. I am Andy Hotbody Dawson. Pow, pow, pow.
I'm Sam Nifty Delaney, so what?
My second and third pow there seem to just melt into each other, so I'll do them again. Pow, pow, pow.
Nice.
There we go. It's the latest episode of the Rod Hull Odyssey. We're looking at the Rod Hull This Is Your Life episode from 1983, which was on ITV, presented by Eamon Andrews. I haven't looked to see if it's still there. Like the rabies video, some cunt might have took it down because we're getting a bit too close to the truth. I don't know, but I hope it's still there if you have a look for it. I've got notes. I'm just working from notes now. At the end of the last episode, we had Rod's dad, Len, with his white hair and his bushy chin beard, covering his massive chin.
Yeah.
He had a nice frilly dress shirt on and what looked like a velvet jacket and a bow tie. Properly dressed up for This Is Your Life.
Yeah,
Highlight of his year.
His life. Imagine that going on your son's This Is Your Life. It'd be a great feeling.
Because it was a massive thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This Is Your Life, I'm thinking it was always hard possibly to get all the way through it when you were a kid. You'd lose interest, really, the longer it went on.
Yeah.
You'd tune in to see who it was and how they get
in the non-celebrity bits. Yeah, that bit at the beginning was good. The bit where the celebrities come on.
That's the essential bit.
But then when it was just someone who they used to work with or an old schoolmate, I'd be like, fuck this. Because when you're a kid, you don't appreciate... Now I think I can appreciate that stuff. Like, I'm just interested in the dad as I am in whatever, Larry Grayson. But... but back then, I don't know, you're not yet... When you're a kid, you're not really interested in, like, the human existence at all. You just want non-stop gratification.
You just want the quick thrills. Yeah,
you just want quick thrills. There's no depth to your perception of life, really.
You're basically having a look to see if it's going to be a footballer or a pop star.
Yeah. When's Kevin Keegan coming up? Mum, do you reckon Ronaldo's Kevin Keegan? I fucking hope so. He's always funny.
Kevin Keegan comes out. Yeah. Imagine if Kevin Keegan brought Emu on. That'd be amazing.
Mum, do you think Alvin Stardust's going to be on this one? Do you think he's going to sing a song? I hope so.
Why hasn't Suggs from Madness been on this yet?
I was going to say that. Basically,
he's not old enough.
Whenever I watched Jim will Fix It, right, all I fucking wanted was for Madness to be on it. And they were on it maybe maximum twice in the whole history of the show. But I watched it, and most of the Fix-Its were like shit. It was like, fix it for me to groom a horse, right? Or fix it for me to draw the fucking Houses of Parliament, right? It'd be like really shit, boring stuff. But once in a while, someone would ask to perform with a pop band, and he'd fix that. And once, maybe twice, it was Madness. And I'm not joking, it fucking drew me in week after week, year after year.
Just in
case. I never enjoyed it. It was just on the off chance that maybe they're going to do that Madness thing again. Maybe someone else is asked to be playing with Madness.
But it would be like, please fix it for me to post a letter at Land's End and then deliver it to John O'Groats.
Yeah. Fucking what? I tell you what, I don't... I mean, this is in the plethora of, like, historical crimes surrounding that particular television franchise and its participants. This is pretty low down the level. But I've always suspected that those fucking fix-its weren't real. I always thought they were dreamt up by the production team.
I think they probably were. I think someone's probably confessed that.
And I don't believe that there was because the things, what you just described is classic. And I just didn't know any kid when I was a kid who was like, would want to do something like that because it just sounded shit. Yeah. Like, it was like Record Breakers in a way. Like, grown-ups' ideas of what would be a fun thing for a kid were never really what kids were really into.
Can you imagine the state of the mailbag they got every week? They'll have been completely improbable. Please, can you fix it for me to go to Jupiter?
Yeah. Please, can you fix it for me to go to America? That's it. That's the end of my fix. Yeah, what? And do what? Do something amazing? No, just go to America. What are you going to do? I don't know. See Statue of Liberty, get a load of hot dogs. Right. Can you fix it for me to go to the sweet shop and eat loads of sweets till I'm sick?
Yeah, every week they'll have had 400. Please, can you fix it for me to score a goal at Wembley?
Yeah,
which they will have done once, but you can only do it once.
Yeah, and it would have been
maybe
shit,
once every 5 years.
It would have just been an empty stadium, and the kid would have run, and they'd have got quite a third-tier player to like maybe be in goal.
Yeah, and then it'll have been, please can you fix it for me to have a kestrel on my arm? And then they will have done that because they had access to a kestrel or something.
We've got a kestrel, we can do that one.
Listen, you rang up, you wrote in about wanting to play at Wembley. Well, we can't do that, but you can come on if you'll have a kestrel on your arm.
Are you interested in kestrels?
Oh, right, yeah.
No, because we've got an actual BBC kestrel. It's in house, so it'll cost us now. Basically, it's kept inside in the prop cupboard, and we can just get it out. The mice. Yeah. Ken, the BBC kestrel.
Ken the kestrel. I mean, I wonder if there's an episode guide of Jim Will Fix It, which just goes through what all the fix-its were. It's a fairly safe way of looking at Jim Will Fix It, I suppose, without having to deal with...
the best thing about Jim Will Fix It was the theme tune. I really liked it. Ba-ba-ba, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. It's one of those theme tunes that really makes you think Saturday night. You know that sort of excitement you have about Saturday night? Even if you're a kid and you're not doing fuck all on Saturday night, you're just staying in and watching telly. Right? Yeah. Which is all I would be doing. Nevertheless, there was a huge excitement about the prospect of Saturday night. I suppose because the telly was better and you didn't have to go to bed at your usual time. And that particular thing, just as Play Your Cards Right theme tune, to me, was synonymous with Friday night. Jim Will Fix It's theme tune was synonymous with that, the heady excitement of immersing yourself into Saturday evening.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And then Sunday night, of course, was the more sedate stuff like Last of the Summer Wine.
Sunday night, to me, is...
Songs of Praise. And there was that
South
dread
Bank
of
Show,
going back to school.
which is a good theme
South
tune.
Bank Show.
It was a good theme tune, but nevertheless, it made you a bit sad and depressed because you knew what was coming.
It was almost bedtime as well, wasn't it?
You think, well, this cunt Brag's going to introduce some shit that I'm not interested in, and then I'm going to have to go to bed anyway.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Peter Cushing, the actor, wrote to Jim Will Fix It in 1986 to ask if a variety of rose could be named after his late wife. It's not for Peter Cushing to write in the Jim Will Fix It.
Cushing, this is for kids. It's not for fucking privileged celebrities like you. If you want a fucking rose named after your wife, then you can sort that yourself via your lawyer and agent and your accountant.
Jesus. In 2011, after Savile's death, the show returned for a one-time Christmas special with Shane Ritchie as the host.
Oh.
And Lewis Hamilton guest starred, as did Kimberly Walsh from Girls Aloud. So that was in the perineum period between Savile's death
and him being exposed.
Different times. Anyway, let's not dwell on Jim Will Fix It too much. For sake.
Let's get back to This Is Your Life.
But it did run for 20 series for 19 years. My God. So, yeah. This Is Your Life. A bugler has come on.
Yeah.
And it turns out that Rod used to play in the St John's Ambulance band.
Now, the bugler comes on and he is... Like, this is the thing about This Is Your Life. You get celebrities who can milk it, come on, do a great little turn, be very funny, tell an anecdote. Great, that's the good bit. Then you might get family members like his old man who are unused to being in a situation like this, but kind of rise to the occasion a little bit and have a laugh, and that reveals a little bit more the human side of the celebrity because you see him interacting. And then you get someone like this,
and they're around. Obviously, they're around people they know well. They're around family people.
Then you get someone like this who feels like a complete fish out of water, Rod Hull doesn't actually remember him that well, so he's just been brought on to add a little bit of variety and colour. But Rod Hull's like, oh yeah, I kind of remember you. And the geezer's like, sort of thrilled to be on TV, but the cunt freezes. He's got one fucking... he's got one anecdote, and it's not even that good. But in the hands of a decent raconteur, it could be all right. To cut a long story short, there's a story, sounds far-fetched, that Rod was in this band playing his bugle and a bird shat on the mouthpiece. And some of the shit went in Rod's mouth. That's how I would have told it. If it was me, I could have made it all right. They could have just said, what happened? Right, Sam, you were in a bugling band with Rod Hull. Tell us a funny thing that happened. Right, we were playing once and a bird flew over and it shat on his bugle and some of the shit got in his mouth. Thank you very much. Now go and sit down. Can I sit next to Sally James? No, you cannot. Sit next to his dad. Right.
Those seats have been roped off.
And, but the cunt freezes.
Shall we hear it?
Yeah.
Here he comes.
30 years ago, Bill Jarvis.
Bill Jarvis.
Great name.
He's got the bugle in his hand. There's that music.
Not a very pleasant din. What had gone wrong with Rod's bugle playing?
No, don't tell him.
Do tell him.
Well, on that day, the poor Rod, Ben struck up.
And a bird was flying over the top.
Well,
Rod helps him out.
Something on the mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Okay, so he gets all of 3 seconds into the anecdote before Rod, who of course is a pro, steps in. It's like this. It's like at that point to me, it's like your fucking trainer. He's throwing in the towel. At that, you've been in the ring. It's fucking. You're 3 seconds into round one, and the coach has jumped in and gone, "No, that's enough. Here's the towel. Right, I'm throwing it in. Right." And Rod just goes, "Yeah, okay, yeah." And the bird shat on my trumpet. All right, go and fuck off now. Right, that. And the poor bloke, you can see in his eyes, he knows he's failed. This is his one and only chance to ever be on TV. He's told all his mates, he's gone, well, poor Rod. And then there's a long pause, and Rod's like, sorry, mate.
That day.
Sorry, mate. I'm fit. No, you've had your chance. I'm stepping in. I'm finishing this anecdote, and you're going to go and sit up the back.
Dead air.
Yeah. It was poor, and even Eamon Andrews has like a slight. You can see a slight twitch in Andrews. His consummate Mr. Smooth demeanour is compromised momentarily when he's thinking, and he's thinking to himself, a production assistant's going to get the high jump for this. I insisted that this bugling cunt was coached properly.
Yeah,
I wanted them to rehearse this story with him a minimum of 20 times, and clearly they haven't. And afterwards, we did. He was fine in rehearsals. We heard him tell the same story 12 times. It was fine. It was good. We just can't account for how he's going to react once we're going live and Rod's in the room with him.
It's like the bit where it all goes is where he comes out with the bugle.
Yeah.
And Rod just says to him, "Don't tell him."
Yeah.
Don't tell
him about me getting a bird shitting in my mouth.
Oh, should I not say the story then?
Oh, yeah.
And Eamon Andrews goes, "No, tell us."
No, just do it as we rehearse, for fuck's sake. Ignore him.
Yeah.
Ignore him. He's not in charge. I'm in charge. Tell the story about the shit in his mouth. Tell it. Tell it, you wee cunt. You are fucking... This show's already struggling. The father let us down badly. We were hoping the father would be better. It wasn't that good. It was about him giving him a piggyback through some rain. It wasn't so good. It was okay, but we needed something big, and I had high hopes with this bird shitting in the mouth story.
The father's come out dressed like some kind of maniac. Nobody could have accounted for that.
We're playing catch-up here.
He looks like a murderer.
We're playing catch-up here. There's a lad riding on this. Now tell the fucking story for fuck's sake and make sure it's good.
But don't say shit.
It, you cunt. I can't believe this. We are fucked. Right, I tell you what, we're going to have to get Emu out here. No, we're going to have to. This show's a car crash now. People are going to want to see Emu. Get him out.
He's just on a fucking trolley.
Looking dead.
No one's
dead
in control of him.
And here is Emu. He's currently sleeping.
He's sleeping.
Right, perhaps you could wake Emu up and do a little turn because the show has gone a little bit flat-footed. Go on, pick him up. But you can attack me if you want, Rod. It's no problem.
Fucking hell. Yeah.
Size of Eamon Andrews, mate. Imagine him in a ruck.
Well, him and Andrews afterwards will have gone to town on this bugler when it's all over.
Come here,
debriefing him.
You.
What the fuck was that?
You. Afterwards, they have drinks in the green room and they're all there.
Asshole, over here.
You bugling conches. Get over here now. I tell you what, I'll put that fucking bugle where the sun don't shine. Who the fuck do you think? 30 fucking years in this industry, I've never had a car crash like that before on my watch.
There's one thing I can guarantee, that bugle's definitely going to have shit on its mouthpiece when I'm finished.
I'm gonna ram that fucking bugle up my own ass. Then I'm gonna pull it up and make you play me Watson Matilda on it, you cunt. Yes, in front of everyone. Sally James, Larry Grayson, Keith Chegwin. It's your worst nightmare come true. They're all gonna be watching while you play the bugle with my shit all over your mouth.
Even Rad's weird dad.
And they're all going to be laughing and laughing and laughing at you. Your career as a bugler is over.
And your career with the St John's ambulance probably hangs in the balance as well.
I've had words with them. I've got connections with my friends from the lodge.
It's the Fire Legion for you cunt.
High up in the St John's ambulance. And let me tell you, I've spread some nasty rumours about you.
Oh, dear me.
The bugler fucked it. I bet Rod wasn't happy either. That cunt.
No,
I never even liked him when we did it. Even back then, I don't know where you dug that old cunt up from. He's only got one story and I had to finish it for him.
I'll be honest, I don't even recognise him. Don't remember him at all.
I remember the bird shitting in my mouth, but I was rather, that was buried for life. It's the last thing I need. I do a lot of children's entertaining. I don't need them looking at me, imagining birds shit in my mouth. I'm planning my next big show. It's all set in a pink windmill. I'm this close to getting it commissioned, and now this cunt's turned up and probably fucked me chances.
I've been getting away with having my hand up a bird's arse for 15 years, and now people are going to be starting to think about it.
People are going to start asking questions, and that's the last thing I need. I'm a very private man.
Jalapeño. Jalapeño.
Let's see the rest of the anecdote.
Right, he had a marvellous message, and this poor message was sent from the seagull, landed right on the mouthpiece, and that's why he ended up with the sour note.
There you go. He got there in the end. He got through at the end. The bird left a message. It was a seagull on his mouthpiece.
He shambled his way through that.
Yeah, and it left a sour note. So, yeah, that's very good. What happens after that? Oh, it's the... it turns out that Len, his dad, was a bus conductor. And he's got that kind of bus conductor vibe about him, I think, when you know that.
I imagine him being quite a benign bus conductor, actually. Let's be honest, some of them were cunts. We've been through this before. Don't want to antagonise the bus conductor community. Some of them were cunts, but some of them were lovely. And Rod Hull Senior strikes me as one of the nicer ones.
Yeah. He'd probably have a few gags. Maybe it's a bit of a song.
Andy, do you remember with their little... I mean, I don't know if they had this in Sunderland. They probably did, though. Do you remember their little ticket things?
The machine. Yeah.
With the handle
on it. Yeah.
Oh!
Fuck
me. They hung it round their neck, didn't they?
eBay.
And they'd go... and turn their little handle twice and out would come your little ticket.
Because we talked about the leather coin bag before, didn't we?
And we've talked a lot about the postmasters at the post office. Stamp, 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 stamp. And this, to me, goes in the same hall of fame of things you want, things you coveted as a child. You wanted the postie stamp stamp. You wanted the milkman's coin bag. And you wanted the ticket machine of the bus conductor. Have you found it?
I found one. Yeah, working. It says it's working as well.
Where are you going, mate? Clean. Oh, the high road. Okay, 10p, please. What's that, madam? Oh, you're going... Oh, okay, you're going up into town. That's 15 pence, please, madam.
God, there's loads of them, and they're all on eBay, and they're all still working.
How much, mate?
Oh, 30 quid.
Fucking hell, that's really cheap.
Yeah.
We should
That's
get
what I'm
one each
thinking.
and wear them at the live shows.
I think we probably will.
We should stand on the door and give tickets to everyone coming in.
Like we did at Sheffield. Like we did at Sheffield.
From now on, all tickets are bought manually by us on the door via our ticketing machines.
Vintage bus ticket machine working includes small roll of tickets.
Fucking hell. But it's the little handle, mate. Just a little handle, isn't it? And you
Yeah,
can
it's
just
got
get
a
it
little
between
handle
finger
on
and
it.
thumb and you turn it twice.
It's got the little handle. It's got the dials on it so you can count how many tickets that they've sold. Oh, absolutely. I have to cut this episode short so I can go and buy one of them right now.
The other thing I
Yeah, there's a
liked
few of
was
them.
when you had to ring the bell for the bus to stop, if you were a punter, a passenger, there was a button. Ding, ding. But on the old Route Master buses, they had a special one that only conductor, I think, was allowed to use. And it was a long cable that ran along the ceiling, right? And
Yeah.
it was held to the ceiling in metal loops, yeah? And there was a technique that only the conductor knew. They must have trained them to do it. And I couldn't reach it because I was a kid. But the conductor, with two fingers, his two middle fingers, very delicate, as if he were fingering a lady, would just go,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Do you know the
Ding.
thing I mean? On this wire.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it was like the metal would touch the hoop and it would go ding, ding. And they wouldn't need to press the button. They'd do it with that. And I used to look at that and I would marvel at the skill of it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd think,
Yeah,
how's it
totally.
making that beautiful pitch perfect noise just from two little slight, very almost imperceptible little movements of the finger? Oh, I love that, mate.
I'm looking at these bus ticket machines, and they're not buy it nows. They are auction items, and I think they'll go for a lot more than 30 quid.
I hope we don't end up bidding against each other. That would be embarrassing.
No, that'll be silly. We'll have to talk to each other and communicate as to what we're doing.
Yeah.
But there's bound to be some buy it nows. Anyway, I'm going to look at that later on in detail. What happens next? Yeah, so he was a bus conductor. And there was the Maidstone and District Bus Company, which is what he worked for. And they had a concert party, which back then, I guess we're talking 50s, was a thing that was a big thing because there wasn't much entertainment, was there? There was football, there was the cinema, there was the theatre.
Pet shop.
And then people would get together at the pet shop. People would get together and perform themselves, amateur theatricals and musicians. And they had a concert party. And they had a song which was called "We Mustn't Miss the Last Bus Home," and they talk about that. And then his fellow band members from the Maidstone District Bus Company concert party turn up through the door. It's quite confusing. There's a lot of them. I'm not sure if Rod recognises them. I'm not sure if Len recognises them. It's a bit of filler, really, but nice bit of detail. And then the story develops that Rod and family moved to Sydney for some reason.
Well, there's the pertinent phrase, for some reason. There's a lot of questions and not many answers raised by a lot of this. Like, we never hear, there's not much mention of his mother. I assume she's brown bread, but the circumstances
I
of
guess
that
so.
or anything to do with his life, not covered. Fine, that's his business. Number two,
gonna
the
Google
first marriage. The kids are from it, but there's no mention of what went on at all in his life before he met his current wife. Number three, why did he go to Australia? What was he running from? Lot of things. For me, with someone with a curious and inquisitive mind, Andy, I'm there thinking, hang on, there's a lot of stuff that is left unanswered here.
Here we go, an obituary of Rod. His father, Leonard, was a jack of all trades with an optimistic outlook on life and a succession of odd jobs.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
That sounds like the biography of a man who would maybe have to move to Sydney in a hurry. I think. Rod later recalled, "Life at home was like
kids,
a panto."
Pack up your stuff. We're moving to Sydney, and there's no time to spare.
He says, "Life was like a panto. We were quite poor. My father never succeeded in anything, but that never worried him, or me, or my mother Hilda, who was, as he was, and were terribly proud of him. It was just Dad. Life to him was a giggle. He taught me that as long as you've got a sparkle in your eye, life will be good. So, yeah. Yeah, in 1958, he and his family decided to follow his parents' example and emigrate to Australia. So his parents had already gone there, Len and Hilda. But I don't know what became of Hilda. Just having a quick look here. Don't know, she's not mentioned again. But yeah, went to Sydney and he started writing comedy sketches. Just fucking turned up. Started writing comedy sketches.
Do you notice the bit where he says, you started watching, what was it, the weekly comedy show, and you thought that you could write sketches just as well. And Rod Hull at that point pipes up and goes, better. And Eamon Andrews kind of goes, oh yes, yes,
Okay.
well, you did do it better, like that. And it's the way he says it, with a sort of a vicious look in his eye. You suddenly get a glimpse of his gimlet eye, like better.
The real Rod.
Yeah, half of it was absolute crap.
Yeah. He's the absolute determined, ambitious
I'm
psychopath.
telling you now, it was a lot better than anything else they had on. Far superior, real comedy.
Of course, it was Australia. Back then, Australia was pretty much a third world nation.
Yeah, they
It's a
barely had a
culturally-
comedy. Best laugh they got was seeing
all
their
the
mate
Brits-
treading dog mess.
All the Brits used to go down there and show them how proper at the time it was. And then Rod starred in his own thing, which was called The Caper Cops. And we see a black and white clip of that.
Hilarious.
which
They've done
almost
well to
looks
get
like-
hold of that. I talked about that
They
before, the
have.
production team, to search out the archive, and then, of course, it would have had to have been sent on tape, wouldn't it, all the way from Australia?
I guess so, yeah. And we see a bit of it. It's a black and white silent comedy. Rod plays a policeman. And he's got some posters and they keep blowing away. And that's kind of it. It's really weak.
It's really basic sort of calamity cop. There's no kind of structure or punchline. It's just him sort of being a cop. It's kind of sped up, and he's just like getting himself into a bit of a tiz, really, isn't he?
These posters are blowing away and he's trying to hold them down. And that's it. That's the Caper Cops. It's the kind of thing you would come up with if you were like 5 and you wanted to try and, I'm going to do a television programme because I'm 5 and I can do everything.
Yeah.
And he'd do that. Better. And then he came home to look up old friends. And then we meet his best mate, Bill Wallace, who went to become a TV writer in Sydney from being an engineer in the UK. And they've been mates since they were both 5. And the story is that Rod got Bill Wallace to go back to Australia with him to be his TV co-writer. And Bill Wallace has now been writing in Australia for 17 years. He's just gone down there. I went down there and I started writing.
This is one of my favourite bits. This is the opposite of the Bugle Man, because they get a guest on. First of all, it is a decent surprise because he used to be his best mate and he's flown him all the way from Australia, and so it's a big surprise. And this guy, although he's not a performer himself, he is a former performer, so he's obviously got something about him because he started out actually performing with Rod before he became a behind-the-scenes guy. Now, I can see by the gait of this man, by his suit, his confidence and his general demeanour, that he has become something of a top television executive in Australia. It's obvious, isn't it? He walks out.
Yeah.
I think he's wearing some jewellery or a nice watch. There's something I spotted where you sort of think, yeah, this guy's earned himself a few quid. He's living the fucking dream down under, isn't he?
Top table. Yeah.
And he swaggers out and he's a bit like, all right, cunts. Yeah, that's right. I went to Australia with Rod. Difference is I fucking stayed there. Now got a swimming pool and I'm fucking minted. And I got myself a fucking Doris who attends to my every whim. And by the way, here she is. And then they wheel her out as well. I noticed
there as well.
I noticed that they've spent so much on flying them both over. They decide to do 2 separate reveals, one each.
Yeah, get the money's worth out of it.
He's really getting the money's worth, that. But this guy, they're clearly mates, and he's very good, isn't he? He comes out and he sort of owns the stage for a little bit.
Yeah. and his wife's Mavis, and it turns out is it their 25th wedding anniversary or something like that?
Yeah.
They announced that as well.
Did you notice a bit, though, after they've said hello and she's happy to, oh, yeah, here I am, and he's like, great. And his fucking mate, I'm just looking at his mate's outfit here, actually. His mate, he's got a lovely tan. He's got some really well-pressed and creased slacks, flared slacks, a wonderful navy blazer.
On, hasn't he?
He looks like Tom, the producer from Roger Melly, the Man on the Telly.
He does.
Right. And he's got one hand casually in his pocket. He's a business, this guy.
He looks like a young Harold Shipman.
Yeah. But he's absolutely a business. You know he's made it, and he knows he's made it, and he knows that you know he's made it, right?
Yeah.
And then his Doris comes out. It's all lovely. Rod is delighted to see them, and I think still looks up to this bloke. And they sit down, and when the Doris sits down, Rod kind of looks quite worried, stands up, and just says to her, I need to talk to you. And then then Eamon sort of says to him, no, sit back down. That's for later. Yeah, and you can see him, he's thinking something, and I don't know what it is. Yeah. Like, he doesn't know, does he? About that night we had together.
Don't say the thing.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Not on national television.
Oh, fucking
Rod
bastards.
looks just nervous all the way through, doesn't he?
He does look nervous, like he's ready for them to reveal something that he doesn't want to be revealed.
Yeah. Well, there are one or two things that do get revealed later on, but we'll get to them next time because we've still got Larry Grayson, we've still got a crashed boat, we've still got Michael Parkinson,
we've still got plenty,
and we've still got
Michael Parkinson. Rod Hull, a great comedian. That's not a very good impression. I'm trying to do it.
It's not bad.
Great comedian. Great. I suppose his thing would be anarchy. Anarchy, is that really what you and Emu bring to British light entertainment? It's not that good.
I said I'd come on this show, but I would not go within 1,000,000 miles of that wretched bird. We'll get to that next time.
Fucking hate Parky, mate.
Thanks for listening and goodbye.
Goodbye.